Back in August, a storm hit the region with winds over 90 miles per hour. Corey Adkins found a couple who were on a boat when that hit. They tell their harrowing story in this week's Northern Michigan in Focus.
Gunk holing is going into bays and coves and hanging out on your anchors, being sort of independent.
Gunk holding is about as free as you can get, sailing the Great Lakes at your own will. But sometimes Mother Nature has something to say.
And just out of nowhere, a wall of wind from a direction you wouldn't hardly believe, the southeast.
Bob and Angela Brittenall and another couple were anchored in Indian Bay off of Garden Island and suddenly found themselves in the teeth of an unpredicted August storm.
I barely recognized that we were dragging or we were on shore. And next thing you know, we're on our side. The waves and wind are keeping it on his side and starting to break over us.
The four were alone. Bob managed to get a radio signal out.
We decided we better call the Coast Guard, at least to let them know where we were at, who's aboard. We're on an isolated, uninhabited island, and that we were in trouble.
The Coast Guard heard them.
But when the boat's on our side, my antenna is no longer 40 feet in the air, and we're bouncing below the tree line. I was pretty sure they could hear me, but I couldn't hear them very often, so I said my cell phone number into the mic.
Then his phone rang.
They did 20-minute checks at first, and things were getting worse. The waves are building. The boat is just, crunching, smashing. That keel busts through, you're done. The rigging goes down, you're done. If the hull breaches on the side, you're done.
The four hunkered down in this kitchen. The Windancer was grounded, but it was unsafe to get off.
The only thing that kept me from going over to get off was that the waves were so high.
It wouldn't be easy.
I thought it would take me down and drag me out before I got shore, and even though I could have walked it, but it was really rough.
Bob didn't want to leave his boat. It was then the Coast Guard took the decisions into their own hands.
Just the anxiety in my voice and the smashing in the background, the next thing I know, they're telling me they're sending a rescue craft from Charlevoix Station. They made it no question, they were here to get us off the boat.
The Coast Guard got the four back to Charlevoix. The next day, they made their way back to Beaver Island to find somebody to take them back to Garden Island to see if the Windancer made it.
Captain Mike met us at the ferry dock when we got off, knowing our anxiety. What's up with my boat? What's left of my boat? The closer we got to her, the more my anxiety turned to hope. She could not have hit in a better spot. It's like that island put its protective hands in her cove to catch us. It was about the only mucky spot in that cove.
Captain Mike pulled her out, and believe it or not, the Windancer is still doing what she's supposed to do. Sail the Great Lakes. Bob and Angela wanted to thank everyone who helped them when they needed it the most.
So that was Captain Mike Weed, the U.S. Coast Guard, Jamie Kelly out of Petoskey, and Pam and Sally at the Aaron Motel, and everybody at Charlevoix is just a disaster that became a miracle.
A miracle indeed. For Northern Michigan in Focus, I'm Corey Adkins.